The National Republican Guard (GNR) is the national gendarmerie force of Portugal. Members of the GNR are military personnel, subject to military law and organization, like the agents of the civilian public security police. The GNR is responsible for the preventive police and highway patrol in the countryside and small towns of mainland Portugal. At national level, GNR also has duties of customs enforcement, coastal control, nature protection, search and rescue operations and state ceremonial guards of honor. Since the 2000s, the GNR has provided detachments for participation in international operations in Iraq, East Timor and other theaters. Strength: the GNR deploys over 26,000 personnel over 90% of Portuguese territory. The GNR are deployed in Bosnia as part of IFOR EUFOR Althea, and 140 GNR were also deployed between 2006 and 2012 in Timor-Leste as part of UNMIT organization. The National Republican Guard is, for police and operating in peacetime, responsible to the Ministry of Internal Administration and, for military affairs, to the Ministry of National Defense. Until 2007, the GNR maintained a traditional organization, whose bases still followed the organizational structure established in the early 20th century. This organization included territorial units, special units and reserve units. The old organization also included a central structure that reflected the command of a military field division, including a military-type staff. In 2006, the multinational consulting company Accenture made a study, requested by the government of Portugal, that recommended the change of the organization of the Portuguese security forces, including a radical reorganization of the GNR. Most of the recommendations regarding GNR were accepted and, in accordance with the Law No. 63/2007, its traditional structure was replaced by a new and considerably different one that was implemented in early 2009. The GNR is commanded by a general officer, with the title of Commandant General. The National Republican Guard now includes the following: Command of the Guard GNR General Headquarters in Largo de Carmo, in central Lisbon. Reporting directly to the Commandant General are the following: Direção de Justiça e Disciplina, Divisão de Planeamento Estratégico e Relações Internacionais, Divisão de Comunicação e Relações Públicas, Comando Operational, Comando da Administração dos Recursos Internos, Comando da Doutrina e Formação. Territorial units. The old four-brigade structure was replaced by a system of territorial commands, each covering a district or an autonomous region. Each territorial command, commanded by colonel or lieutenant colonel, includes detachments commanded by majors, captains or junior officer, sub-detachments led by junior officers, and posts led by sergeants. Each territorial command usually includes a traffic detachment and a detachment of intervention. The territorial commands of the Azores and Madeira play essentially just to coastal monitoring and fiscal actions, respectively, under the functional dependence of the UCC in UAF. The current territorial commands correspond essentially to the previous territorial groups of the old territorial brigades. With the extinction of the territorial brigades by the end of 2008, the territorial commands were placed in direct dependence on the central structure of command of GNR. The territorial commands are as follows: Azores Territorial Command, Aveiro Territorial Command, Beja Territorial Command, Braga Territorial Command, Bragança Territorial Command, Castelo Branco Territorial Command, Coimbra Territorial Command, Evora Territorial Command, Faro Territorial Command, Garda Territorial Command, Leiria Territorial Command, Lisbon Territorial Command, Madeira Territorial Command, Porto Alegre Territorial Command, Porto Territorial Command, Santarém Territorial Command, Setúbal Territorial Command, Viseu Territorial Command, Viana do Castelo Territorial Command, Vila Real Territorial Command. Special units. Special units fall directly under the Operations Command. Coastal Control Unit, essentially a Coast Guard service but without dedicated search and rescue and other functions, is commanded by a Major General, is responsible for surveillance and interception at sea and coast, including the operation of the Integrated Surveillance, Command and Control System, distributed along the Portuguese coast. This unit replaced the former maritime service of the Fiscal Brigade. Fiscal Action Unit, commanded by Colonel, is responsible for carrying out the mission of taxation, tax and customs attributed to the GNR. It succeeded the previous Fiscal Brigade. National Transit Unit, the National Highway Patrol, is commanded by Colonel, is responsible for standardization of procedures and training under the supervision of traffic. This unit replaced the central structure of the former Traffic Brigade, losing its territorial subunits Transit, which went to the dependence of the various command authorities. Security and State Honor Unit, commanded by a Major General, is responsible for tasks of representation and security of the organs of sovereignty, includes the Presidential Squadron, Horse Band, the Guard Marching Band, the State Honors and Security Group. This unit replaced the old Regimento de Cavalaria and part of the old Regimento de Infanteria. Intervention Unit, commanded by a Major General, is responsible for the missions of maintaining and restoring public order, management of critical incidents, tactical operations, security of sensitive installations, inactivation of explosives, protection and relief and projection of forces for international missions. Includes the Public Order Intervention Group, the Special Operations Company, the Intervention Group for Protection and Rescue, the Canine Operational Group, the Center for Ordnance Disposal and Underground Security, and the International Missions Force Training and Readiness Center. This unit was organized with several subunits of the former Infantry Regiment. Services Serviço de Proteção da Natureza e do Ambiente SEPNA, Educational Establishment School of the Guard, commanded by a Major General, is responsible for technical and professional training of military personnel of the GNR, includes training centers in Figueira da Foz and Porto Alegre. History. The National Republican Guard is the direct descendant of the Royal Police Guard created in the beginning of the 19th century. The Royal Guard of the Police of Lisbon was created in 1801 by Prince Regent John on the initiative of the Intendant General of the Police of the Court and the Kingdom, Pina Manic. It took as a model the French gendarmerie. Following the creation of the Lisbon's Royal Guard of the Police, a similar guard was created in Porto. When the transfer of the Portuguese court to Rio de Janeiro after the invasion of Portugal by the Napoleonic forces in 1807, a similar Royal Guard of the Police of Rio de Janeiro was created, this being in the origin of the present military polices of that state and of the other member states of Brazil. At the end of May 1834, as a result of the Civil War, King Peter IV, assuming the regency in name of his daughter Queen Mary II, disbanded the Royal Police Guard in Lisbon and Porto, creating the Municipal Guards of Lisbon and Porto on the basis of similar conditions. In 1868, both of the guards were put under a unified Commandant General installed in the Carmo Barracks in Lisbon, which today today still is the headquarters of the GNR. The Municipal Guard was considered part of the army, but was dependent on the Ministry of Internal Affairs for all matters regarding public security. After the 5th of October 1910 revolution, which substituted the constitutional monarchy with the Republic, the new regime changed the name of the Municipal Guard to the Republican Guard, keeping the same organization. At this time, plans were already being done for the transformation of this guard into a national Republican Guard, covering all the Portuguese territory. In 1911, the Republican Guard was transformed in the National Republican Guard. This was to be a security force consisting of military personnel organized in a special corps of troops depending, in peacetime, on the Ministry of Internal Administration, for the purpose of conscription, administration and execution with regards to its mission, and the Ministry of the National Defense for the purpose of uniformization and normalization of the military doctrine, as well as for its armament and equipment. In case of war situation of crisis, the forces of National Republican Guard will, in terms of the respective laws and for operational effect, be subordinated to the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces. In 1993, the National Republican Guard absorbed the Independent Fiscal Guard that became the Fiscal Brigade of the GNR. In 2006, a new GNR unit was created with the purpose of firefighting and was named GIPS. A small contingent of GNR forces were deployed in Timor-Leste in 2006. Awards and decorations. 1921 awarded an exceptional move, the 3rd Battalion of the Fiscal Guard, degree of Officer of the Order of the Tower and of the Sword of Valor, Loyalty and Merit. 1934 Order of the Tower and of the Sword of Valor, Loyalty and Merit to the National Guard. 1965 Head Cross of the Order of Christ, the National Guard. 1984 Praise the Minister of Internal Affairs to the National Guard. 1985 Order of the Tower and of the Sword of Valor, Loyalty and Merit, the Fiscal Guard. 1986 Honorary Member of the Military Order of Avis, the National Guard. 1988 Order of Christ, the Fiscal Guard. 1990 Municipal Merit Medal, Gold Grade, Mayor of Lisbon, the Fiscal Guard. 1993 Medal Ensign Joaquim José da Silva Xavier, the Federal Military Police of the Brazilian National Guard. 1994 Gold Medal for Distinguished Service to the Public Safety Fiscal Guard. 2004 Praise the Minister of Internal Affairs to the National Guard. 2005 Distinguished Service with Palm, the Sub-Assemblies Alpha GNR. 2006 Praise from the President to the Presidential Squadron, Cavalry Regiment of the GNR. 2006 Title of Honorary Member of the Order of Prince Henry, the Symphonic Band of the GNR. 2006 Title of Honorary Member of the Order of Prince Henry, the Cavalry Regiment of the GNR. 2008 Praise and Gold Medal for Distinguished Services, granted by the Minister of Internal Affairs. The units of extinct GNR, namely, Territorial Brigade No. 2, 3, 4 and 5, Brigade Tax, Traffic Brigade, Infantry Regiment, and Cavalry. 2010 Praise the Minister of Internal Affairs to the National Guard. 2010 Title of Honorary Member of the Order of Prince Henry, the National Guard. 2010 Order of Timor-Leste, National Guard. 2011 Praise the Minister of Internal Affairs to the National Guard. 2011 Honorary Member of the Order of Liberty, National Guard. Equipment. Armament. The police in Portugal always used a wide range of firearms to equip the personnel. At the start of the 21st century they chose Glock 19 as the standard law enforcement handgun, which came only to replace the old Walther PP. Any other handgun in a caliber above .32 ACP will remain in service. Handguns FN Browning HP Beretta PX4 Storm, Glock 17 19 in 9x19mm Parabellum, various Heckler & Koch pistols in 9x19mm Parabellum, various SIG pistols in 9x19mm Parabellum, various Walther pistols in 9x19mm Parabellum, shotguns Mossberg 590, Winchester 1200, Fabarm SDASS Tactical, Bonelli M3 and M4, submachine guns FAMAE SAF, HK-MP5, rifles various HK models, Accuracy International AW50, vehicles patrol cars Skoda Octavia, Toyota Corolla, Mitsubishi Lancer, Volkswagen Charan, Nissan Almera, Subaru Impreza, motorcycles BMW 850, Honda Pan-European, Yamaha, sport utility vehicles Land Rover, Mitsubishi Outlander, Mitsubishi Pajero, Nissan Patrol, the vans, trucks and buses Mitsubishi L200, Mitsubishi Fuso Canter, Iveco Eurocargo, Toyota Hilux, Mercedes Sprinter, MAN 12.240, Scania P230, Renault Kangoo, Toyota Hiace, armored and water cannon vehicles Iveco VM90P, Iveco 4000, bicycles Orbiter GNR, boats Reba class surveillance and interception boats, Zodiaco class inland waters control boats.